Since our topic is consumer math, I would like to talk about the history of investment. So the very first investment, the idea of investment is from ancient Mesopotamia at 1700 BCE. Even though a lot of history books says it started in Europe at 16th century, during the Mesopotamia, there was Code of Hammurabi. Code of Hammurabi is basically a law book. It shows like the rules and regulation, and in one of the part, it also includes the investment rules and regulation, and it gave legal framework for investment. So now there's like a concept of investment, and there's like regulations, so people can abuse it and stuff. So, and additionally, people who violate these rules and regulation were punished. So people had to follow the Code of Hammurabi, and the proper concept of investigation was formed. However, in modern society, when we talk about investment, it's about like bank interests and buying stocks exchange. So for that, we can jump to 17th century.
1602 and the ASE. ASE standing for the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, which is pretty much the first stock market that ever appeared in the world. But there were similar institutions that sprung up around Europe, such as Antwerp. They had their own financial exchange system in the 16th century. So the ASE was established by the Dutch East India Company, known for being the world's first multinational corporation. Soon after their experiments with those stock markets, other stock markets began to appear all around Europe, but other historians disagree, stating that stock markets could be found in various forms throughout Europe during the medieval and Renaissance time. But what makes the ASE important is it's the idea that it gave for its own. It's known for being the very first market because the concept of stock exchanges for them was what gave the world their roots to starting their own markets. So yeah.
So for the consumer math, what could be the real life application?
For consumer math, the thing that popped to my head is banks, meaning like opening savings accounts, loans, time deposits.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So based on that, what is an actual proof of those types of applications?
Well, for that, since we're a student, I think we can start making our own saving bank account.
Yeah, opening a savings
So
account.
yeah, so we can apply the interest, how it works. Like, so following the interest rates of different banks are one of the application.
Yeah.
So like BPI saving account, it has 1% interest rate. For PS Bank savings account, it has 0.5% interest rate. And for Metro Bank saving account, it has 0.25% interest rate. And for BDO, also 0.25%. And for Land Bank savings account, 0.25% as well.
What do you know about consumer mathematics?
Well, about consumer mathematics, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so consumer math is a field of mathematics which shows you how to use your basic math skills to real life situations, such as buying a car, budgeting your money, investing, paying taxes, etc. So how do you manage your finances?
Well, basically, finances are two parts. The finances that you require for your business and finances that you require for your personal or family. You must learn to separate them. They should not be combined. Second, you have to have realistic expectation of your finances. You have to understand what you need for business and what you need for family. And finally, either for business or for family, you have to be on top of both.
What's your basic standard for investing?
Well, first of all, you must understand what you are investing in. Next, you should have the passion to invest. And you should again have a realization that oftentimes an investment will succeed and most of the time it will fail.
Do you tend to play it safe or take risks?
It depends.
So high risk, high return, or low risk, low return?
Yes, there is a truth to that. You may opt to invest high under the presumption that you will earn high, and you might want to think that you invest low to earn low. But there are circumstances that happens that such combination actually will merit. For example, you make a low investment, but the return is strangely high. Sometimes you have a high investment, yet strangely your return is very low. Such is the nature of business.
What is the most important aspect or value when it comes to stock exchange or investments?
Like I said earlier, you must understand stock exchange, stocks, commodities, and you must also understand investment. You see, when you invest on something, you must understand what it is. You must have a passion for what it can do. Example for stocks, you invested in a certain commodity, but why the prices goes up, goes down, you must understand it is not only in one sector, but you have to see it in totality. Like a certain political situation in a country is in turmoil, that may cause your stocks to go down, or reverse, it may go up. So understand all of that.
So after like learning all these lessons in Matapre, I think I see the evidence of math in world like even more than before. So yeah, one could be the financial management that we
Yes.
just talked about,
Yeah.
and
And for game theory, I see that when our professor talked about it, I immediately thought of my time in sports when I had to make decisions which would give me the best outcome without losing so much. Like if I get too tired, if I do this and then, but I can do this better, then yeah. And then for you,
also for linear programming and like the efficiency thing.
yeah,
I think about like ways
Yeah.
how to go there fast or like the least distance, And how about like Dr. Nohan's classes?
coding theory and cryptography. I saw a lot of that when I was a kid. When we had to send secret messages to our friends. There was always a code or something that they only knew. So it made us,
I think in military also they use like that, like the flags.
yeah.
And yeah.
How about
And
math as a language?
math as a language? I think like when we reason something, like avoiding fallacy is basically applying math already, like learning the math in language.
Yeah.
Because like every reasoning follows like a method, like
Yeah.
a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then math as a pattern, in patterns. We see that in nature as well, not like how you see I'm sorry, there's nothing here. Like these ones up here. I will put that up there so they can see. There. That's what Dr. Nokon showed us, saying that that's a rosette. Rosette, right? Rosette pattern. Yes, it is.
Yeah, rosette
Uh-huh.
pattern.
And you can see that in many of the designs of architects, because
Yeah, like
it's modern, and you can see the math in there.
tiles and bricks.
Yeah,
and everything.
And then math in nature.
Yeah, math in nature, it's basically everything. Like following the golden ratio in different artworks and the Fibonacci spiral and like the standard of beauty. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm pretty
So,
sure there's many more.
many
other than
others,
this.
yes, of course. So how was your experience taking the course?
Well, for me, it was really fun. Like, it's not really math-ish. Like, when it comes to like later part of the course, it felt like I'm taking like a human art class.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How about you?
Okay, I was actually shocked because I'm not good in math. Like, I tend to stray away from anything that has to do with math or science. That's why I'm CLA. I'm in CLA. But when I took Matapre, I was surprised to get high grades and that I actually understood, because I realized that there's not much of what do you call that?
Like
When you
computation.
stuff like that, and the formulas weren't as hard as like they were when I was in high school or the ones they have now. I understood it because it was more analytical. You just had to understand. So I think it was good all in all.
So you generally find the course easy, like not that hard.
Not that hard. So you enjoyed.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
It was
me
like
too.
easy and enjoyable, fun to learn. Yeah.
Did you find anything difficult to understand?
Not much. I mean,
Ikaw na.
learning the concept, it was interesting. Like at the start, even though I don't know it, it was easy to understand.
Yeah, I think the reason why I was able to understand the course with no problem was because of our professors. They were really good at teaching.
Yeah,
So,
true.
So, if you can compare your experience from taking other mathematics course to this course, what would you say are the differences?
It's not tiring. I would say that because like if you take like regular math course, like after test, like your brain is so tired
dead.
and like
Yes, yeah.
But in this one, I didn't experience it.
No, me
that
too.
much.
But then I don't really know. I can't compare. I mean, you're what college?
Oh, I'm CD though, but I was good in math when I was in high school.
Okay, fine. You were good in math in high school.
Yeah.
I have friends who are in accounting, and I can see all their.
Oh, yeah.
They're really dying. So I'm actually really happy that I'm not dying. Okay.
All right.